Well, they constantly tell us reform, we want these immigrants to abide by British values. What are these British values? And here we're going to discuss what I think were previously British values and what the current set of British values are. So I would say the previous set of British values included free speech, it included capitalism, it included democracy, and it included religion. Christianity was a main principle. All four of these have gone now, right? There is no free speech. Lucy Connolly, 31 months in jail for a tweet. 3,000 people given warnings or arrested for what they say online. Very, very slippery slope. UK totally gone. Whatever you say, got to be watched. Hate speech laws, new online safety act. It's basically communist. It's worse than Stalin, right? Stalin had to hunt them down. There was nothing. It was very difficult to get evidence against these people. Here, it's all there. You're in jail. 3,000 a year. Done. Okay, so we've got that. Then we've got democracy. There is no democracy in the UK. It's a uni party. We believed in reform. We thought they were the party of change. What's happened after they debanked Nigel Farage, after they tried to get him off GB News? Suddenly now, no problem with him. He's been totally accepted. He now wants to remove the child benefit 2 cap. He has no problem. He doesn't want to deport any immigrants. No way. Deport them? No way. And Islam, not an issue either. And if Britain becomes more white, more minority than white in 20 years, it's not their problem. So, i.e., it's all the same. There is no choice. You have a choice of the same. That means there's no democracy in the UK. So there is no democracy. Capitalism. 50% of the economy is the state. The only way you're going to get rich in the UK is having a state contract, or you can do benefits fraud. Everything depends on the state in the UK. Biggest employer is the NHS. Basically, there is no more private business. Okay? It's been decimated, destroyed. It is socialism verging on communism. Remember, more state involvement in the economy than China. China is 20%. The UK is 50%, right? Who's more communist then? A definition of a communist model is where the government owns the whole economy, right? 100% of the economy. UK is 50. China is 20. You go figure it out. Final one. We said religion, Christianity. And I think this is the biggest one. Britain was a Christian country. It is now the most atheist country, I think. Atheism is, by the way, the number one religion, or whatever the classification they call it. And it is probably the number one in all, I would say probably the whole world. I can't think of a more atheist country, looking at statistics. Definitely in Europe. Definitely more than America. I don't know who would be more atheist. So once you lost that, something has to replace it. That's what we have to understand. When you lose religion, when you use a raison d'être, a reason for being, a reason, purpose for my life, you have to fill it with something else. So let's see at the new values. What are the new British values? Well, looking statistically, most Brits are proud of net zero. I swear to you, the thing bankrupting you, the thing giving you the highest electricity prices in the Western world, the thing with green levies as well, the things that don't work, that you have to replace the fans every few years. The maintenance cost is crazy. No one even wants to bid for these things because they're so uneconomical and there's no money to be made, even for the provider. Even when the government is subsidizing the whole thing, there's still no money to be made. That's how inefficient. Solar panels and wind farms have been around for for not 100 years, but since the 70s, let's go with. Nothing's changed. Other than they're produced more cheap in China. Nothing's changed. Right? There is no new form of green energy that was discovered. It's a joke, but that is the number one British value. They like being bankrupt for something that will have no effect on their life. If the UK, which produces 1% of all CO2 emissions, and there's nothing wrong with CO2 anyway, but let's say there's 1% of CO2 emissions got completely destroyed, it would make no difference. Zero difference. And yet, the British people have been brainwashed to thinking that is their number one value they're proud of. Then number two, diversity is our greatest strength. As we've said, in 20 years, the UK will be white British will be a minority. In London, it's currently 36%. Are white British are part of London, so it is already gone in London, the capital city, and it will go out throughout everywhere else. Because again, there's no religion, there's no purpose in life. So, what does it matter? Let everyone in. There's no difference between me and this guy. There are no core values. That's the point. The whole point is they're trying to say immigrants have to abide by our values. What are they? They're not Christianity. Muslims do not abide by Christianity. They do not abide by capitalism. They do not abide by democracy. They do not abide by free speech. Say something about Allah, or we'll see what happens to you. What are you talking about? They don't abide by any of those, but you're telling me you've got British values. What are they then? Net zero? They definitely don't abide by that. Second one, LGBTQ, loving, taught in all schools, forced to teach little kids. Even when the Supreme Court says men are men, women are women, the NHS couldn't give a damn, still does the surgery. BBC has to call them pregnant people. Again, this is against the Supreme Court decision. They don't care. That is their value. LGBTQ, whites becoming gay is their big value, or trans, and therefore not having any kids. Which comes to the second value, 2 weeks ago, with it, infanticide legalized, where you can kill a baby a day before and not go to jail. This week, we had assistant dying approved, where you're old and basically the kids don't want you. You've got Alzheimer's, you don't know what's going on. They sign off, you're a dead man. That's how it works. There's no morals in the UK. There are no values. There's kill babies, kill old people, don't have any kids by being gay, waste your money on net zero, import loads of people that just go straight on benefits, and you work for them and get taxed the highest on record. There are no British values left. There are none. What would you say? Stiff upper lip. That's embarrassing now. No way is that allowed. Proud of your country? Are you insane? That flag is nowhere to be seen in the UK. The country with the least amount of flags, and I've been all over the world. I've been to the most random countries. Georgia has more flags of Georgia than England has, of Britain has. Funny enough, very similar flag of Britain. There are no British values. So all this rubbish by Reform UK that, we want immigrants to abide by British values, define them, please. Because there are none. And that's why the UK is being destroyed. Because there is no religion. Because there is no actual basis for the country to be different. There is no, France's crazy laws for, to keep French language, to keep French music, to make sure the cars are French. Well, it gives it a little flavour. Britain has none of that. All imported Chinese junk, all allowed, no restrictions, nothing to do with Britain. Get rid of the flag, put anyone else, there's way more Paddy flags in Britain flying at the moment than British flags. Let's just be fair. Way more Paddy flags. Supporting a terrorist organisation, that's a British value. Terror marches every single week in London. They march every week. That's a British value. Marching for terrorists. Taking down Israeli flags. Anyone who takes down a Paddy flag, arrested. Mark Rowley. He's, Sadiq Khan put him in power. You should be arrested for taking down a Paddy flag. That's British values. There are none, mate. That's the problem. And until there's a revival of that, and until there's, a revival, I would say, of religion in the UK, not Islam, which obviously will take over. But there is nothing. What is it? Net zero? Pride? What is diversity? That's your values. Well then, you know what? Sharia has more values than that.